Hey guys, it's Mr. G, Mr. Wells, and we're going to finish up Unit 10, Day 5 with scattered plot diagrams. So as you can see, for this practice problems, it says that the following table shows the number of passes Brett attempted and completed in 16 football games. And the great thing about this is that, well, in this one, they've already plotted all of the data for us. So what we need to do is just interpret, what are we seeing here? And one of the things we talked about in class was a thing called the best fit line. And we can see that there's a relationship between the amount of attempts and the amount of completions. And we can see that there seems to be a bit of a positive slope that's going on with this data. So the inference that we can make is that for every attempt that he makes, as long as it increases, the amount of completions will increase. So it's a direct relationship. So as attempts increase, this might sound a little bit like science class, as attempts increase, then completions increase. So pretty straightforward. As one increases, the other increases as well.
And the second thing we did today were two-way tables. So a two-way table looks like this. We're comparing two different pieces of data. We have talking about 8th grade students being surveyed on whether they agree or disagree we're coming to school earlier or not. So I'm going to fill the rest of this table in pretty quickly. It looks like we've got a total of 26 that agree. 14 were boys, so it must have been 12 girls, because 12 plus 14 is 26. The total number of boys is 14 and 6, so the total will go right there. Add those two numbers together, you get 20. We can do the same thing with the boys and girls that disagree. Right here, 6 and 18 is 24. And then the total is 50, because 30 plus 20 is 50. The more important one down here is the relative frequency table. And we're trying to use percents here to determine what's going on. So these columns should say total here. And we always know that there's always 100% total in the bottom right-hand column of a two-way table, a two-way frequency table. And the way we're going to figure this out, and all of the information here, we're going to figure this out. We're going to use these numbers from up here, and we're dividing by the total. So I'm going to take, first, I'm looking at boys who agree. There was 14 boys who agreed out of 50 total. So I'm going to do 14 divided by 50 and figure out what percent that is. You can take a calculator. You could do 14 divided by 50 and get 28%. All right, or you could set up a proportion and do it that way. But this one works pretty easy because really 50% is half of 100. So all we're doing is doubling all of these, so it's pretty quick. So do the same thing with the 6. If I'm going to do 6 divided by 50 to find out the next one, that's 12%. All right, and then I could do the next one by adding these two together. I could add 28 and 12 and get 40%. You could do it that way, or I could have used my 20 from above and taken 20 divided by 50. That also gives me 40%. So there's lots of ways to do it. And now I'm going to look at the girls column. I've got 12 girls who agreed out of 50 total people interviewed. 12 divided by 50 is 24%. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the 18. 18 divided by 50, that's 36%. These two total together, 60%, which makes sense because if I add up my 40 and my 60, that's where I'm getting my 100% from. I'm going to add these two together here and get 52%. And then 12 and 36 is 48%. And we got to make sure everything adds up nice and neatly. And it does, because 52 plus 48 will give me 100.